Hello friends and welcome. So this video is in continuation of our videos that were on network. We already have been discussed about the network and how we can establish a network, what devices are being used, the networking devices along with the types of network. So in this video we are going to discuss about the network architecture. So let's start it. First thing, we have to understand what is architecture. Network architecture is the way network services and devices are structured together to serve the connectivity needs of the client devices and the applications. It is the design of the communication network. So as it says, it is the design of the communication network. So the network that we are establishing, it is actually the design of that network. What does it mean? It means it is a framework for the specification of network's physical components and their functional organization and configuration, its operational principles and procedures, as well as data formats used in its operations. So we may say that it is the physical and logical design of what? Software, hardware, protocols, and the media of the data transmission. So design means it simply tells us how computers are organized and how tasks are allocated to the computer. So a well-designed architecture improves the overall network structure and helps to prevent network bottlenecks and other issues. All the issues that are regarding the processing in the network along with the bottleneck. Here bottleneck is a keyword, it's a terminology. What actually a bottleneck? When you have a lot of requests, a lot of processes that need to be processed, but the processing device is going to process one by one, or the traffic is too high and the processing is not up to the standard, it's not being processing accordingly, then that is a bottleneck. So friends, let's discuss about the types of network architecture. Here we have three types. Number one is in this category is your client server architecture. Then we have peer-to-peer, and last one is your point-to-point. Let us discuss these three types individually, starting with your client server architecture. Here friends, the architecture of a computer network in which many clients, that are your remote processors, request and receive service from a centralized server, that is your host computer. Here first we have, before understanding the concept of your client server network architecture, we have to understand these two terms, that is a client and a server, as it's in the name also. So friends, server is a computer or a system that provides resources, data, services or program to other computer known as clients over a network. In simple, if I have to conclude what is a server, so server is a dedicated computer, or you can say a central computer, which is going to process all the requests by other computers. And the server includes web server, print server, mail server, file server, etc. On the other hand, we have client. And what is a client? The device or a software that initiate request and interact with the user. So all the other computers that are going to connect with the server through any networking device are under the term of your clients. So clients are other computers or even the computers that are going to send the request to the server for processing. And here friends, server is responsible to perform activities according to the request sent by the clients. Client computer in this case provide an interface to allow a computer user to request services of the server and to display the result the server returns. And servers have to wait for the request to arrive from client and then respond to them. Here friends, in this architecture we have a limitation, and the limitation is the heavy traffic. Many heavy traffic of client request may slow down or break down the server. So if you have a lot of requests that is being sent to the server, even we have categories of server like web server, print server, mail server. Still, if the requests are too much, so the heavy traffic may slow down the process, or it can even break the server. And in this case, the attacker follows this weakness and attacks. So let us just understand this concept with a diagram over here. As I have said the word device, device can be anything. It can be a smartphone, a laptop, a computer, a workstation, and you are connecting over to internet. So that is the client server architecture. There is a server that is going to process all the requests that are being sent from the clients, and it can be any device, anything that is going to send a request to the server for processing. Let's just take an example, friends, over here. For example, if I say this server, it is a print server, and if a client, for example this laptop, let's take an example, that a client requests to print a document, then what? This server will command to the printer and the print will be printed. Similarly, friends, let's take another example. For example, the files are stored on the server called file server and not on the client computers. Same client can retrieve data by using any other computer on the same network. So this is the better and the most important advantage of your client server network architecture. That means it is a remote processing. You are going to request for something, for example, in case I have discussed about the file server, so a client can retrieve a file from the server regardless of the device, and it can access it anywhere using any device. So when we are talking about client server architecture, we can say it is a remote processing. I hope you understand that well. So let's move towards the next one, and it is the peer-to-peer network. In client server architecture, friends, that is a centralized network, but peer-to-peer consists of a decentralized. Decentralized means it don't have a controller or the central computer or the dedicated server. Networks of peers, that means nodes that are both clients and server. Here in this architecture, we may say that all computers are independent. That means they are responsible for their own activities. Somehow the computers that are even linked together with each other, that are known to be nodes. Sometimes they may serve as a server, sometimes they may serve as a client, but every computer is independent. They don't have to send the request to a central computer and the central computer is going to process that request. In this way, they are communicating, they are sending, they are sharing files, they are retrieving files. The communication is being establishing. Everything is going smooth. For like we are saying, what is the purpose of a network? To share something or to communicate with. All the things are going same in this network, but what is it? It is decentralized. Decentralized means it don't have a server. So all the computers are connected together and they are exchanging and sharing the information. We also may say it P2P network. So P2P network distribute the workload between peers, and all the peers contribute and consume resources within the network without the need of a centralized server. So friends, it is a simplest network, it is very cost effective, and the maintenance is also very easy because they are connected with the cables, so they are even independent. But if we are talking about the independent and the nodes, here is a problem that is regarding their security. So the limitations in your peer-to-peer networks are this: security level is not very high. Each computer itself is responsible for security, so it is a security threat for data. So that means peer-to-peer network are not that much secure network as all the computers are independent. Second thing in this network is your heavy traffic. Same as with your client server architecture, heavy traffic may slow down or sometimes break down the network. So here is an example, a diagram of peer-to-peer network. Here you can see different clients. Why it being used the word client? Because clients are other computers they are even connected with each other. You can see each and every computer is being connected with the other computer. So here the exchange of information and the communication goes by, but they don't need a centralized device that is going to process or their request, like in the client server architecture, where you have to take a print, so you have to send the request to the server and the respective server will process that request. So I hope you understand what is a peer-to-peer network. So let's move toward the last one in this category, that is a point-to-point network. It is the most simplest of the networks. As it says, it is point-to-point network. So here friends, you have to understand that it involves only two devices through a single dedicated channel. Here one device is your transmitter and the other is your receiver. One is going to send the data and the other one is going to receive the data. So this is simplest one because it is between two devices. It is secure network because the channel is not shared. It is secured because only two devices are there, so they are sharing the data, so the data leakage cannot be happen in this case. Smaller the distance and the faster the speed of the data transmission. We say that this network is the simplest network and it is the cheapest and most effective network. Why cheapest? Because it only involves two devices and hardly a single cable that is going to connect them, and most effective because a single transmitter and a single receiver, data is sent on from the one end and going to be received on the other end. So here are some example. If we have to say we are a computer connected to the other computer, point to point, two devices, a computer connected to a printer, or we may say a telephone call. So here you can see friends, device 1, device 2, one is going to be a transmitter, the other is going to be a receiver, and that is a simple LAN cable, a cable that is connecting the two devices. So one is going to transmit or send the data, the other one is going to receive it. Here you can see the example of two PCs that are even share their data and are communicating. So only two devices are involved here in case like a computer, and on the other hand is a printer, and they are even connected with a single cable. So friends, that was all. I hope you understand about what is an architecture and what are the three types of network architecture, how they work. And if you find my video informative, so do like it and do share it with your friends, and we will meet in the next video. Till then, take good care of yourselves.